Hello Internet, this is Z Schrodinger's cat, and I'm here with another episode of Foolcraft on the LIIIIVVVVVVVES Patreon server. It's been a few days. I've been doing some other different kind of videos. I'm doing the build challenges, which nobody likes or wants to see at all, based on the view counts. But that's okay. I was doing them for me. That's alright. You don't have to like them. But point being, I took a few days off of recording for Foolcraft. I have been doing some buildings though. Some building. I don't exactly remember what was here the last time I was recording, because it was like 5 days ago, and I don't know. I basically I built these things, these like mountainy things. I got these rings of stuff going on around here. Like, I think the last time I had this spiral, I think I built that last time. And then I put these rings around it, like, so to adding more support. And I think that helps a lot. I believe it was there last time, and it looked very unsupported, so, or maybe it wasn't there, maybe none of this was there last time, and I'm just, like, babbling on, and you have no idea what I'm talking about, but nonetheless, this thing is here now, and it kind of goes up. It goes up to this platform, which is going out. I have these islands defined where I'm going to start to expand the sort of city up into the sky. We're at a pretty high Y level, so we don't have a ton of space to work with because we kind of built our way all the way up. But that's okay. That's okay. We can have a flat flying city. That's all right. These come up here. So you have this area in here. It's kind of like this island here is generating the pulse. I'm gonna put something on top of here, so it's like this island thing is generating the energy that pulls you up, and also supporting the structures, you know, and magic and all that nonsense. But I'm building this up this mountain here, and I'm gonna build up that one's gonna take a while, I guess. But I figure I should mention why I kind of took a break from Foolcraft for a few days, and that is because I've reached the point in this build that is the unsexy part of the build. Like, what tends to happen with me all the time, and everything that I do that's creative, is I'm really into the start, and I'm really into the intro, and I have all these ideas, these grand plans, and I make the scope, like, huge, because I have all these grand plans, and inspiration, and what the hell's in my... Get out! And inspiration, and then I get into the build, and I get, like, this... pretty much this percentage of the way through, and I'm like, well, I still have all these, you know, the plans that I set out to do is, like, it's nowhere near done, but the energy that I have is, like, I want to do new things, which is just sort of why I did those build challenges, because I had all this creative energy to start something new, but I was like, I already have, like, 3 projects going on in this series, and there's a certain point where you get to this unglamorous point in a build where it's sort of like in a relationship. The first you know, year is just like, you know, you get excited and it's fun and, like, new, and you're really just like an adventure, and then you're like a few years in, maybe you're married, maybe you just got married or something, and you have kids or whatever, and you wake up and your wife is, like, next to you, like, their mouth is, like, drooling with drool, as people do when they sleep, and, like, you both wake up and you're, like, fat and in your 40s, and you're like, well, this isn't what it used to be, this isn't the excitement that it used to be, but I still gotta make this work because I still wanna care and invest, but you gotta put work and emotional energy into the relationship. So you go out and you go to Vegas or whatever for a weekend, and you go on this rampant party, and you hire these prostitutes, and you get all this stuff out of your system, and then you come back to the relationship and you're all invigorated again, because you realize what what you are leaving behind when you start to go on these new one-day adventure flings. And that's kind of what happened to me with the build challenges. and yes, I needed to, like, I think it helps me. It's just why I had so much fun with these. Is it really gets the initial excitement of starting a new project, and also the satisfaction of finishing a project because there's limitations on size and stuff. And so that's why I was doing those. I had a lot of fun. Nobody watched them, but I didn't care because it was fun. And I'll probably do more, even though nobody will probably watch them, because I do them for me. And that's what's gonna happen. But now I'm kind of back here, and I'm like, okay, I gotta put the work in to the relationship with this Foolcraft build. I know, the two of us are both, you know, aging and different people than we were when we first met. But we gotta make it work. You know, gotta put that energy back into the build. This is another week later, or something like that. I have been having a hell of a time staying connected to the server because Comcast is a little shit. Well, a combination of the server was having, you know, like, DNS issues, and then also Comcast was being a little shit. Like, I apologize, excuse my French, but dear lord was Comcast being a little shit. It just would always be disconnecting and reconnecting, and I would get like 4,000 ping on the server, and I would do like 30 seconds of work, and then I would be timed out of the server, and then I would come back, and then all my work would be gone, and then I would do it again and again, and I just gave up after a while, and I'm like, okay, let's go play my I've been playing Age of Engineering, which is in single player. So yeah, that's that's why it's been so long between Foolcraft episodes, in addition to the stuff that I mentioned last clip. So it's been, what, like a couple weeks since I've had a Foolcraft episode, which is crazy. But yeah, I built this thing that I was building last time, and I put this kind of road type thing, and the idea is that I'm gonna have some little houses coming off here on the other side of the road, and then I'm gonna have like a big thing, palace, I guess, I don't know, big something or other. I really don't like doing multiple small buildings. I've come to realize this about myself. I don't like doing clusters of small buildings. I like doing one big building, which is probably something that I need to teach myself not to do. How many stairs here am I having? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stairs, so I should do the same over here for consistency. I find that when I do like villages and stuff, after I make one house, I'm like, but I'm done. I made the house. I'm done. And then there's all this space that I need to fill with more houses. And I'm like, whereas with a big project, like a big palace or whatever, like something like this, where there's just like a bunch of connected stuff that just goes on and on and on, I can still stay very motivated for a long time. And so that's also what's kind of been making inspiration difficult for this particular area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, one more. Is I've reached the point where I'm like, it would really work really well if I had a collection of small houses around here, and I think that's what I'm going to do down there. What I'm going to use this island for. I'm going to have a couple branching off here, because I need to do it. It's necessary for a lot of situations. You need small details in between the big details. You can't have all of your details be exclusively giant things, because each of the giant things loses its meaning when you have a bazillion of them. So yeah, that's but I do want to kind of have a palace situation going on here. And I added this, I forgot to mention, I added this kind of lake, not really a lake, kind of water trough thing. I might put plants down here, or I might not, I don't know, I haven't decided, but I'm gonna be I'm kind of ill-prepared for this segment, to be perfectly honest, like always. I mean, am I ever fully prepared for a segment? I don't think so, because I'm out of, I haven't been to the base in like 2 weeks. So I hope nothing's on fire. Like, okay, everything seems to be fine. No FPS. I think most things are off, honestly. I think the only thing that's on is this here, and I seem to have collected quite a lot of crap. If you look at Wayla, yeah, I have a lot of stuff. It's just this isn't a particularly high farm with a particularly high rate. It's just there's only one growth crystal. It's just been running forever. It's been running, I think, since like day 3 I put this up. And then so I've gotten like 2,000 stacks of whatever, just passively collecting. Yeah, I need to get some sandstone, but yeah, I'm gonna collect some stuff and come back and we can design the front of the whatever I'm doing. Another thing that I find difficult about what I guess I think of as the middle of a project is that, like I was saying before, because I have such a fondness for large projects, I often start a project at a large point. Like, I started this project by building a giant mountain, and then, both for the purposes of content, but also for the purpose of keeping my own interest, I want to be bigger, I want to be grander, I want to surpass what I've done in, before. And then when you start at that gigantic place, like, where do you go? I forgot about a server restart. Way back, I was saying, when you start out gigantic, where do you go? Is that the same? Yeah, it's the same. Like, how do I impress you guys is one thing, but I think most importantly is how do I impress myself? How do I keep that passion and that drive that was at the beginning when I had all these ideas, because things are generally cooler in your head than they are in reality, no matter how cool you could make them in real life, because the idea that you have in your brain is it's more than just a build. It's feelings, it's excitement, it's past glory too, all wrapped up. There's like a lot of emotional stuff that goes into it when it comes to artistic inspiration, and when it comes out, it's like, well, I mean, this is exactly what even if you get it exact to what you imagined, visually, it's different. It's different than just when it is in your head, and so it's like, I've already made this giant thing. Now what do I do? Do I just make more of the same? But in the case of a lot of these large-scale projects, and these sort of mega builds, is you just gotta fill a bunch of space with a bunch of stuff. And then the things that are very, very prominent, the things that are unique, those are gonna show through, but you gotta fill that space because the person's not gonna pay attention necessarily to them being there, but they will pay attention if they're not there. And I gotta fill this in. And and that's why the middle of the project is so difficult for me, and why I tend to not finish things ever. I think I've started like 8 bazillion thousand different novels, and like 8 bazillion thousand, back when I used to do Flash animation, I have like 1 billion of those, like 10 seconds of animation that I then gave up on afterwards because I got a better idea, or I wasn't happy with it, or, yeah, that's just how it goes. Inspiration is hard. It's hard to make it through the whole way, which is why, for me, it's so much easier. Some people have a hard time starting things. I have a fantastically easy time starting things. I can just go in there, but it's the middle part for me that is really just like, this is painful. How do I get past this part? How do I do it? How? Okay, so I probably should go over what I was actually doing in that last clip. I put these pillars here to have this kind of grand entrance way to almost like down there I have kind of a thing. Because I'm thinking, and I'm starting to build this down, because I'm thinking, instead of having everything in the sky with just this one thing right here, because I mean, it kind of seemed odd in my head that everything would be floating except for that. So I'm thinking maybe I make a series of these giant tower buildings, because we really had a lot of success with this one in terms of the scale, like relative to its size, its total size. It has a fairly small footprint on the actual ground. There's a lot of verticalness to it, and that really works to its advantage. You know, you're kind of looking down, especially when you turn night vision off and it looks looming and cave-like down there. We really achieved a lot of success with that, and potentially having a series of these buildings, you know, one here, could be really, really cool. But then still have mountains, floating islands like these, supporting sort of smaller, more residential areas. I think that would be cool. So now I'm just kind of building this down. I'm following with this same motif, this kind of thing, and kind of adding details just around here. So I think I'm gonna have windows here and have this be a structure, and I think this will stay open as a roof. I do like carrying this theme through of really open glass kind of holes to the void, where you can look down and you can see all the way down there. I mean, fog notwithstanding, obviously, when you put a bunch of layers of glass on top of each other, eventually you'll stop seeing what's beneath it, but it's, you know, in theory you could see all the way to the void. So I think that's cool. Alright, I have this thing going on, and there's some parts I really like about it. Like, I like this, this is unfinished, hold on. Let me go on the other side so we can pretend that there's no imperfections. This kind of M, or little pointy shape here, I like it a lot, and I got these kind of, posts, top of the posts here with this shiny at night. Oh, it's actually night, so I can show you. Yeah, and that's, you know, and there's stuff down there that's glows. It's cool. It's a very nice. I really like in this build how the buildings are lit up kind of naturally and stuff. But yeah, I got that going on. The underside here, I don't know. it kind of runs into the problem that you have with Junglewood, which is that on a large scale it looks very grainy, but I think it's okay contrasted with the dark oak. I think I'll leave it for now. I might add a few more details just to kind of break that up. These details here kind of get lost in this being Junglewood. I might change this to something else, but I can't think of what I would change it to. Like, I would change it to birch, but no. And oak and spruce and acacia aren't really in the... Well, acacia sort of is, but no. And I'm hesitant to introduce new woods because I already have 3. And I don't want it to get too... We kind of gotta be careful about colors because we already have so many. But yeah. This is just I'm just showing you the little details. This still isn't done. This is totally not gonna be seen, but I am currently trying to figure out a way to actually... Am I out of, jungle stairs again? Damn it, I am always out of jungle stairs. There's never a time when I'm not out of jungle stairs. It's like a black hole that eats them out of my inventory for some reason, like the gnomes that steal all my socks. Alright, we got... Good enough. We got enough. We have 20. Yep, because I screwed up the dragging and crafting. Well, yeah, that pretty much sums me up, really. I'm kind of lifting this up and adding another layer back here. I want to have this blend into maybe a tower, but I just want to have this ceiling be in a relatively not so terrible light, and then I'm going to start building down, because that's kind of where the focus of this is going to be. This is almost kind of the top, because we're at 199. I guess we have 50 or so blocks to go, but why, you know, I don't know. I'm just going to build until I feel like I don't want to build anymore. And I don't know why I'm telling myself that I have plans, because planning, as we have established, is for nerds. And maybe something like this. this. Maybe? No. And don't know. Just try this. Whoop. Excuse me. Excuse me. On up. On two's up. Upsies. Yeah? Wah. Wah. No, that wouldn't be there. It would be probably, actually, not stairs at all. It would probably be slabs. There we go. We did it. And then probably would bring this like that so that it matches the thickness of the one below it. Yeah? Yes. Yeah. I think that's good. I got all these arches installed, and I kind of brought them over and have this archway here. I don't know what I'm going to do with this front, because it's a different width. This is 9 wide, and this is some other number wide. 15, I think? So that's a little tricky, but I've been starting to put in this this clay, and a good way to start with roofs like this, when you're trying to put in curves and shape and stuff, is to start out with flat surfaces. Basically what I did was I just followed this and carried straight lines, and then after you do that, you can do stuff like this, where you sort of bring it out and like fluff it out and make it more not so much of a liney lines mess, but actual shape and body to it. And hopefully I will solve this problem where I just went back to the base to get more because I ran out. This problem where it's like super flat right here, and maybe I can potentially solve that problem with a little shape and body and stuff. It's a little weird. Maybe actually if I go down, potentially. This is a new pickaxe. I threw my good Silk Touch pickaxe into the ocean somewhere accidentally. I queued it, and I searched for it, I looked for it with my magnet, I tried, and to no success I lost it. So now I got this new one, and I'm waiting for to get enough experience for the modifiers to put haste on it and all that crap. So yeah, rest in peace, Prickass Senior, and happy birthday, Prickass Junior. Yep, you're in the arsenal now. And slow take long enough, jeez. Maybe we fill in like this? I don't know what I'm doing. It's a lot of trial and error, these kind of shapes. You just gotta be like, does this look good? Does this look good? And this slow pickaxe doesn't help, but I gotta use it so I can level it up. Oh, life is hard. Why does life have to be so hard? It is quite hard. And in the middle here, like that, and we kind of have a shape like that. Put in a hand, thank you. Let me play with that off camera. I guess that will do. It's not great, but it's kind of a weird shape to deal with because, I mean, you got this kind of recessed here. I mean, yeah, it is a weird shape to do without just doing straight lines, especially trying to merge it into here, because what I was going to do was I was going to have this kind of puff out, but that doesn't really work with this particular shape, because this is pointing up and like growing smaller towards the top, and then that would be, I don't know. I tried meeting in the middle, and I don't know. I don't know if anything that I just said makes sense, but I think this will work for us if I copy it to the other side, and also if I carry on the shapes and that this is created. Like if I take this and I go it around and I have it going around the whole thing, I think it'll look pretty good. It's all filled in now, and it looks okay. It doesn't look great. I mean, it looks as there's so much rubber banding happening right now. Pink's not that bad. I don't know. It looks okay from this direction, and like when you're up close like this, it's okay. But from this side, it's pretty weird looking, I'll be honest. Potentially one thing that could help this is the inclusion of something like this, where I take this out and I put that in and take this out, just kind of mimicking the arches that were on the other side, and then wah, wah, Womp, 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 womp. It helps. Yeah, it helps. Yeah. I made some final tweaks to this thing. I added this stripe in the middle here that goes up there, and that kind of helps it look a little more like a building. Before it looked a little too much like just a structure with a mountain on top, and now it looks like it was a structure that was molded intentionally. And we've reached the end of the episode. I'm out of time for this episode, so hopefully you enjoyed, and I'm going to say good day to you, Internet, and thank you for watching.